Hey everybody, it's Bricker here from Bricker's Custom Rods, and I want to do a product review for everyone today about a rod I've been working on for a really long time, and I wanted to share with the public abroad, not just here in Indiana. This is a rod I've been working on for a really long time, and I believe I've got it perfected, and I'm ready to unleash it upon all the ice fishermen that would like to check it out or give it a try or understand what it is and how it works. So I'm going to do a little review of what the rod is and how it works and why I think that it's super deadly for ice fishing. In my opinion, it's a game changer for guys that like to ultra finesse panfish such as bluegills, crappies, perch. You know, it's really panfish driven. That's what I like to do on the ice. I like to chase big bluegills and crappies and some perch, but more panfish. That's where my heart is in ice fishing. And, you know, I know a lot of you guys out there like to catch bluegills and crappies too. You know, they're good to eat and they're a lot of fun, and etc. So what a microliner is it is a super ultra finesse ice fishing rod that's meant to be able to quiver and shake your ice flies with low pound tests, like 2-pound test P-lines, what I use. And what it allows you to do is to be able to dance and quiver your ice fly and still be able to see the bite without having to have a spring. I've used spring bobbers for years. They work great. They've caught thousands and thousands of fish, who knows how many. They're a great tool and they work for a lot of people. But with the spring system, it seems like always feel like I'm trapped in a box. You know, I can bounce that spring and I can make my fly do some actions and things, and they detect up bites and down bites, etc. But you know, my line gets tangled in them, and I don't know, let's just say they're not for me. I understand them, just not what I want. With that being said, you know, over the years I've been working on getting away from the spring, you know, because there's a lot of springs out there, a lot of guys using springs, and I wanted to be able to add more action to my presentation to the fish. With, you know, you can't do that with a spring, but you can do it with a rod if you have the right quiver stick or what have you. So what I've done over the years is I've worked on taking glass blanks and tuning them down and getting them dialed in to where you can quiver a rod and detect a bite and still have connectivity and control so you can see the bite through the rod itself. So with that being said, you know, it took a lot of time to figure out how to get it right as far as taper and secondary flex goes. Now that's what I want to go over with you guys a little bit of why secondary flex works in a rod if it's done correctly. You know, if it's not done right, it doesn't work right. I've learned that from trial and error of me and my pro staff. You know, we spent literally thousands of hours on the ice and in the shop working on this tool, and this thing is really awesome. It really catches fish, and it's the only rod I use, period. I go on the ice, I get my microliner out of my box, and I go to town, and we catch a lot of fish with these things. They're amazing. So that being said, I'm going to explain per se how the secondary flex works and why it does what it does. So the secondary flex works off when you shake something or you shake a blank. I'm going to set up a little black background here so you can see. See what I'm talking about. Here I'm dropping stuff. Good job. Okay. What this does, if you take this to a black background, you can see this rod. And, you know, I can hold it still. Now I'm holding it still. If y'all can see this, I'm trying to set this up here where you can really see what's going on. And you can see I can take this and I can shake that and I can make it do all kinds of dances. I can make it go wild, or I can just stop it. I can make it go wild and I can stop it, or I can change up my presentation, what I can do with an ice fly, from doing slow bounce down presentations with my fly, or I can do crazy sit there and shake the crap out of it, or I can just sit there and dead stick it the best I can to hold it still. Now what that does is that allows you to have a little ice fly, is what I make, and most of you know that I make the Bricker no bait bugs. You know, it's a original fly I make, and you cock it horizontal on your line and you put it down and you use these rods and you shake the crap out of it. Basically, you really shake it and you give it a lot of action. But while you're shaking that rod, if a fish even comes up and taps on it or anything, you just, man, you see the bite. It's like large. Compared to like a spring bobber, you're watching that for that little tick. You know, here the whole end of your rod is a spring basically. You know, you see the bite, and that's why I make them ultra bright like that. So when you're sitting there shaking that, you can be sitting there running that quiver. If a fish comes up and hits it, it's like it skips a beat. It's sitting there running. It's like boom, 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 and it's doink, just like a bite would be on a spring bobber, but it's larger. Okay, and that's key because I can add so much more to the presentation of my fly and have control over what I want to do with this rod. And it's balanced to be able to do that. Okay, it's also really super noodly, but it's to the point where it was designed to the point where if you got like a 9-inch bluegill and you can pick him up out of the hole, and this rod will be bent just like this. Okay, you can lift him up off the ice and that blank will load just like that on a 9-inch bluegill. Now obviously if you got a 10, 12, 14-inch crappie, you know, you're not going to want to try to lift him up, but I just tried to make it to where it was just heavy enough to where I could get that fish and lift out a big toad or a fat gill out the hole, you know, and be able to pull him out and have enough power. But I didn't want any more power than that. I just wanted just enough, because, you know, we're all trying to catch a big fish on a little rod. I mean, that's, you know, that's what I like to do. It's fun. You know, you hook a big fish and you do what you can on 2-pound test to get him up the hole and get him out, and these will do it. I've caught a 5-pound bass on mine, and it was a ride, but, you know, it was fun. So with that being said, you know, this is my go-to rod, and they're really cool. I mean, all you know, I do the full artwork, as you can see here. This is a Viper Series microliner with the eye in the back, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with in my custom paint jobs, and it goes throughout the whole rod. You know, I like to make functional art, and in my opinion, these rods are art. From how they're built, to the thread work, to the airbrush, to the true parabolicness of the blank. And what I mean by that is I don't care where you bend this blank, you can turn that down and it rolls just like it should. See there? I hope you can see it on this camera, but you can see no matter where I bend that blank, it stays true. There's no flat spots. There's no improper guide placement or anything like that. It's all designed to work as one unit, so you can quiver and you can shake and stop and change up your actions and add so much more to your little ice flies. Now, a lot of you know, I tie them bugs, and you know, here's bugs I use, and I carry several cases of these around with me because I make them. I mean, obviously I got hundreds of them, but I'll go out and I'll take these little flies, 18s, 16s, 14s, even 12s sometimes for crappies and bigger fish, or some, you know, more aggressive. You can pound 4mm tungsten bugs on these too. They're rated pretty good for that. And I'll go out, I'll take this, my 2-pound test, no bait, cock my bugs sideways, and I'll keep swapping flies till I find the one they want. And this will increase your catch. Okay, it straight up will. If you learn this fishing system and learn how to quiver and control and shake fish, you get that bug down there dancing right, then panfish can't stand it. They just come up and bang, and they hit it, and you catch fish. It helps you catch more fish. Absolutely, I've proven it. Our pro staff's proven it. I think this would do real great for some guys that wanted to tournament fish, that wanted to really, you know, try to put a few more in the live well per se to up your tournament catches, what have you. Okay, well, with that being said, I hope that was a good overview of what this rod is and why it's my go-to rod. And I have all the materials and everything I need lined up now to offer them to everybody, not just the Indiana guys, because I was waiting on my blanks to get custom ground for me. I had to design them. I had to get everything perfectly dialed in before I could order enough products to offer them to the public. So I will be offering these to anybody that wants one now, and they're really a sweet tool. So if you want to step up your game and you want to become a better, more deadly, more ultra finesse pan fishing, and you want to learn the Bricker no bait fishing system, then you need to give a microliner a try, because they're really awesome. Now, I'm not saying this rod's for everybody. You know, there is a delicateness factor to these, and I'm not going to, you know, tell anybody that they're not delicate. They are, and you have to be careful with them. They're not the kind of rod you want to throw down in your bucket, or you know, you got to take care of them, man. There's no doubt, because if you break it, you know, it can be fixed. That's cool, you know, because I can fix them. I've designed these rods to where they can be fixed, but you got to be careful with them, because you can break them. I do offer a $50 no-fault warranty for a microliner, no matter what. I don't care if you slam it in the car door, you break it, or how you break it. I don't care. If you send it back to me, I will fix it as good as new, but it's $50. It's the price it costs me to replace the blank, drill it out, and the labor, etc. I'm one of the very few ice rod builders probably in the country that will offer a warranty like that. But I will to anybody that's a microliner purchaser that wants to give microliner a try. So with that being said, y'all, I appreciate your time checking out my cool little ultra finesse microliner rod, and if you want to give one a try, you can give me a call. You can get on my page and personal message me, or find me on Facebook. You know, that's where most people follow my product and what I do. So tight lines, and I know the ice is coming, and you all be safe out there. Thanks.